Hello, I'm PJ Bishop, and welcome back. In the last video, we went over why I picked the team, the front office, and the pitching. In this video, we're going to go over the lineup itself and who is going to be our bats. So, leading off for us, our right fielder is going to be rookie Wilyer Abreu. Got him at the trade with Boston way back in November. Pretty much just one of the first things I did when I came in was acquire him. I like him, and he's good enough he became my everyday right fielder, and I think he's going to be excellent for us. I like that he still has and he can still improve to be a well above average player. His bat looks like it's going to be playing well. He'll have good bat to ball skills. He'll have pop. He'll have plenty of pop, and he'll be able to walk. And once this goes up, he's going to have some strikeout issues in the beginning, which is normal for a young player. But once that improves, you're looking at a really solid overall player who can play right field and left field. And if I need to, he can play center. Obviously not as good, but he's definitely an excellent outfielder. So he can play all three outfield spots. Is a threat to steal bases as well. So this is actually a really overall solid player. And happy to get him in a trade, because now we have control of him for years to come at a very cheap level, which is the minimum. Now let's take a look at his. So last year he played in AAA, and he was excellent. 912 OPS, 277 average, hit 27 home runs. So this guy, I'm excited. Hopefully, even if he can get half that number in his rookie season, I'll be pretty happy. But that 912 OPS is really good, and it's telling me that he's going to be he's going to be a good hitter for us. And he's leading off because he has good eye discipline. His bat to ball skills and his eye discipline is enough to lead him off. It's a big pressure for a rookie. Our number 2 in our left fielder is going to be Luis Arias. Really good bat to ball skills. Elite. Sorry, not really good, but elite bat to ball skills. And you're going to have a hard time striking him out. As you can see, even the year before, he actually walked more than he struck out. Last year, he struck out more than he walked, but that's because the game tends to see less of this and more of this, where you strike out more than you walk. I guess the game just doesn't like that. He's on the expensive side, though, $10.2 million. But again, excellent. Slow, can steal bases. Interesting. See, he was an all-star in 2022, and of course, that makes sense. I mean, what did he hit? 316. But not bad. You know, his OPS is never going to be high. It's his on-base percentage. And it's his average that's going to be high. It's the fact that he's going to advance whoever's in front of him. That is the purpose of this guy. You're going to get a guy on base. Hopefully you get a guy on base. In the ideal situation, Abreu gets on base. Worst case scenario, he puts the ball into play and moves him from first to second, or from second to third, or maybe even from third to home. And so it ends up being a sacrifice, but you expect him to put the ball in play. Our number 3 and our best hitter, and this is based off of right-handers when I say best hitter, is Chad Chisholm Jr. He's our center fielder. So our outfield is 1, 2, 3. Now, he's pretty much reached his potential. He's still got a little bit of development left to go, but I like him. Now, I didn't know he was from... So he has a second English. Interesting. All-star in 2022, not in 2023. Oh, that's actually a big dip. Almost dipped down to an average player. So last year he played more like average. The year before he was playing like an all-star, obviously. But very few games. I like him a lot. I love this. I love a guy that can steal, that has elite level speed and stealing. He just makes them a really huge threat. Because anytime they get on base, you don't even need anyone to hit ahead of them or hit behind them. They can get themselves in a scoring position fairly quickly. This is what scares me, is we're nearing arbitration, which means we're nearing expensive money. But he's, like I said, my best overall hitter because he's solid all across the board. Is he going to strike out a lot? He's going to strike out more than I like. But when he doesn't strike out, he's going to do some damage because he can hit for average, he can hit home runs, he can hit the doubles, get triples, and if he does get on base, he is extremely dangerous on base. So really good hitter at number 3. More than happy to have him. At number 4, and a cleanup hitter is going to be Jorge Soler. He's pretty much coming down towards what I would consider the end of his career. He was a free agent signing for us back in 22. But aside from his home run power, he doesn't really offer much. Defensively, he's pretty terrible. And really, other than hitting home runs, he has no other purpose. Was a World Series MVP, 2021 World Series MVP. Now let's see. Last year he hit only 26 home runs. So for somebody with his home run power, you expect more. But it's probably because of this here. He struck out 182 times in 147 games. 182 times. He struck out more than once on average per game. So that's a ton. That is a ton. If he plays like this year, I can't see him cleaning up for me too long. Because 214 batting average is really low. But he's never going to hit for average. Only a 703 OPS. I mean, I do think it's an overpay, considering how bad this part is and how bad this is. And this isn't really that great. And then, of course, almost no use defensively. He's a DH, straight up DH. And that's what he is. At number 5, it's going to be Moises Gomez, first baseman. Again, he was part of that trade that I wasn't a part of with St. Louis last year. Again, he's here clearly because of his home run power. And his gap power is pretty good, too. He should be solid. So we have plenty of power in the 4 and 5 spot. And we have guys that should get on base in the 1, 2, 3. So, top of the lineup, the top half does not look bad. The 1 through 5, I like. They're exactly what you want as far as fitting their roles. He's going to be a rookie, straight up rookie. So that's the second rookie in our lineup. That's never played in AAA last year. And he was crushing it. He's been crushing it in AAA or in minors for quite some time. Last year for Memphis, he was 912 OPS. In the few games that he played for us, over 1,000 OPS. So he looks like he's ready. Combined 34 homers last year as well. So this could be good. This could be really good. At number 6, our second baseman, Jordan Groshans. Young kid, too. He's got 106, so he's technically not a rookie, according to, I think, the Major League service time. I think it's 45 days. Can't remember the exact. How many at-bats has he had? He's got 103 at-bats. Oh, plus the year before. Yeah, he's definitely over the service time. And then if you add his bats as well, I think it's 135 at-bats, if I remember correctly. So he's not a rookie, but he still doesn't have a full year of service yet. I like him. Again, another young kid. I like him more because of his defensive ability. He is a good second baseman. And consider that not all our pitchers are going to be strikeout guys like Sandy, for example. Our best pitcher is not a strikeout guy. So we need defense, and he's a good defender at a key position, which is up the middle. If you have good defenders up the middle, you're pretty much set. That's what you want. Shortstop, center fielder, second baseman, catcher. If they're all good defenders, you're going to look pretty darn good no matter what pitcher you have. And he's not done developing. He's going to have some. He's not going to hit for home runs. He's going to be an on base guy. Because judging by this, he's going to be able to acquire walks and he's not going to strike out. So he should definitely have a high average and high on base percentage with this type and with this here, and he'll hit his fair share of doubles. So this is a pretty good player. Last year for us, struggled in the pros. Did okay in minor leagues, but again, struggling up here. I say the pros. When I mean by pros, I mean major league because it's all professional baseball. Even if it's Dominican Summer League, that's still professional. But did struggle in the show. Then he can still improve. So I do like him. Not my favorite here, although I do like this quite a lot. And but this is what I like. He could be a good shortstop though. If he was just a little more rangy, he could be a good third baseman though. He's got the arm for third base. He was originally a third baseman. But I had to put him where I needed him though, unfortunately. Batting number 7 is our shortstop, CJ Hinojosa. He is a straight-up rookie, so our third rookie. He's an old rookie, though, 29 years old, so he's not developing anymore. Where he comes in is he's not going to strike out, but it looks like he's a double machine. This is elite gap power. So you expect him to hit a lot of doubles with this kind of gap power because he's not hitting home runs. Not the best bat-to-ball skills, but he's not striking out. He's not really acquiring walks either, so he's really an average hitter, in my opinion. But he is a good enough defender to play shortstop, and that's really why we needed him, is for his shortstop capabilities, not necessarily for his bat. He's played in AAA now for 3 straight years, so I think it's time that he plays. And it hasn't done bad. It's okay. Last year was kind of a decline, but all the other years he's really not done that bad. He's actually done above what you expect for an average player. Batting number 8 is my catcher, Nick Fortes. Not good at all. Just here because I need a catcher. And he's not elite defensively. He's good, but not elite. But he's below average as far as his offense goes. Defense is above average. So I guess it equals out to an average player. If you look at his career numbers, they're nothing great. I think last year, what do we have here? Well below average. 600 OPS. I believe the league average was 707. So this is well below average. We want more like that. If he can get more to this 2022 season, then I'm pretty happy. This is pretty low. We want better than that because the WAR is negative. We don't want negative WAR. And batting number 9, my third baseman, Sukmin Kim. He is a rookie as well, but he's one of the guys that I signed out of free agency that got posted, and he can still improve. I'm hoping with some coaching from our major league staff, they can get better because it says it can. To a really good player, well above average. What I'm most excited for is he can still tap into more home run power. He's already got really good home run power. He can tap into it and become elite and be able to hit, because this is where he's a little lacking here. Now, I don't know if he'll ever get there because he's 27, but I don't know how, because he's a rookie, has never played in Major League. Maybe he can advance a little faster. I don't know. This will be my first time seeing this happen real time. But this is already really good. So at least he's got the home run power, and he will draw some walks. He's going to strike out. That's expected with a guy with as much home run power as he has. And you'll see this quite often. Guys with really, really big home run power typically have also bad strikeout. And this holds true here as well. But if he fully develops into what it says here, I think this is an absolute bargain. And we signed him and I gave him a long deal. I got him till 2032. If you look at his contract, gave him a 9-year, $69 million deal. But I did it kind of weird. In the beginning, it's not as high because he's not as good. So we're only paying him $7 million. Once he gets better, where he's in his prime, he's going to get paid the most, $10 million. And then toward the end, when I think he's going to get worse, we're only paying him $6 million. So if he does start becoming kind of bad and he doesn't become worth it anymore, he's easier to trade at $6 million than he is at $10 million, or whether it was $9 million. Like if I made this all even, it could have been all $8 million, $9 million, but I didn't. I decided to give him a little less in the beginning while he develops, and maybe he sucks after this year. I can trade him next year because he's only $7 million, and I have to worry about him. So I think it's a very safe contract. And then I followed my rule of not giving more than $10 million a year, and I gave him the max number, $10 million. I think with the home run power he has, I think he could potentially be a 40 home run kind of guy. Anybody with 65 home run power can be a 40 home run power guy, and he has that. So I do like our lineup. I think my lineup also looks good. So I think I have a good staff. I think I have a good lineup. Like, I'm not looking at this team and thinking that we should be as bad as we were last year. I really do think we're a competitive team. Let's take a look at the guys that we have on our bench. Let's look at it in order of position. Our catcher will be Will Banfield. He's a backup catcher. Now, he's a backup catcher because of this. Very few of these guys still left. I don't know what's going on in today's catching world, but very few guys are this is elite catching here. He's got really good ability, but his arm is absolutely elite. And his bat is not that far behind our main catcher, so if he can get a little more pop and get this up a little higher, he could very well take the starting job by the end of the year. By this alone, just his defensive capability, and he's going straight from AA to the majors. Main reason is the guy ahead of him was $4 million a year or whatever it was. I just found it silly to pay a guy $4 million to be this and then not have this. I'd rather pay you $720,000 and be way better defensively. This is what I mean. When I'm a small market team, I do pay attention to who is available, what they're available for, who my backup is, who's coming up next year. Like, I keep an eye on that kind of stuff. I keep my roster also available. I never try to get 40 out of 40 spots taken up because you never know who you may need. But I do like him, and he's been decent as a hitter in AA. Last couple of years, he was 707, 759, so he's not terrible, but that's obviously against minor league pitching. Then we have a second baseman, Oswaldo Cabrera. Another kid that I like a lot. I don't know why. In every playthrough I play, the Yankees just always want to dump him off. So should I be concerned that the Yankees don't like him so much? But I think the Yankees are just too good. That's why they don't necessarily need him. I like him. I like him a lot because he's got pop. He's going to be able to have some average contact. He's going to have above average. He's going to draw some walks. He's going to have strikeout issues. But I can live with that if he's able to hit some home runs for us. But here's what I like the most. Speed and stealing, base running. These are really good. And he is capable of playing almost every position. When I look at his ratings, I see, other than catcher, infield range, so maybe not shortstop and third base, but in a pinch, if you needed him at shortstop, he could do it. And he could pretty much play every outfield, not so much right field, but again, in a pinch, he could do them all. Like, he's not terrible. So he's a really good utility player. It saves you, like, I can have him as a utility player over trying to figure out who else to have, because since he can play so many positions, I don't need to worry about all the other positions. I can just kind of get whoever I feel like getting rather than who I need. Then we have a left fielder, just an old timer, John Birdie here. This guy, he's a pinch runner for sure. Late game situations. You get a guy on base who can't really steal. Boom, bring him in. Because he can draw walks too, but he's just not. He's not gonna be hitting. But this here, I like. I actually love this part here. Again, and also a versatile guy. So that's two really versatile players that we have. What did he do last year? Not a good, like I said, not a good player, but I don't mind. How did Oswaldo Cabrera do? Do we look at his numbers from last year? Yeah, he did really well. I mean, he's hitting 809 OPS for the Yankees last year. The year before it was 740, but that was, I believe, his rookie year. So you're talking about his first year, he did slightly above average. Then he did really good. Like when you hit the 800s and 850s and 900, you're better than, because 707 is the average. So once you're above that, you're doing better. And 809, so he's not even performing bad. So I don't know why they don't like him. They just don't like him. And our last bench guy, did I miss him? What? Only 3 bench guys? Oh, it's because he's part of the lineup. Who was part of the lineup that we don't remember? Is it Gene Segura? I believe it's Gene Segura. Shortstop, Gene Segura. Obviously, I have him because he's a shortstop. And I do need a shortstop. And he's old, has no option years left. And he's also $8.5 million. I like him because of this. He really doesn't do anything else. He's not even an elite shortstop. He's just kind of the only shortstop we really have. Because offensively, he is absolutely terrible. 580 is terrible. This we can live with because of his defense. But 580 is just horrible. Like, it's not even major. Like I don't even want to keep you on the roster at 580, especially for $8.5 million a year. For 8.5. Oh, at least I can opt out if I don't want to. Oh, well, I will definitely opt out. I can tell you that much for sure. Not paying him $10 million to suck. He's on the bench for $10 million, or only against lefties. So that to me is not worth it. And that's the lineup. So again, I think we have a playoff caliber team here. I don't know what you think, but I think it's playoff caliber. Especially since I micromanage every single game, we should maximize our wins and minimize our losses. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.